Guys, I want to switch the conversation to this. Is the league harder now or than when it was Liverpool City, or was the league harder then? For me, I think the league is harder now than it was then. When City were getting 100 points, basically they were Arsenal tulikuwa tu wa kukanyaga, Chelsea walikuwa wanakanyagwa, Man U ilikuwa bure apart from time walileta tu Ole a few seasons. Spurs peke yake ndo alikuwa anachangamka kiasi. Basically the league was not as easy, I was not as hard. That's
a question. Hard for who?
No, hard for everyone. Like what I mean by hard, let me be specific. like acha niseme hivi, by hard is how many hard games do you get to play. For example, like during the time we were analyzing the games that every one of our teams had to play until the end of the season, like basically reactions zetu zilikuanga tu itakuwa ngumu. Like most of the games kila mtu alikuwa anasema itakuwa ngumu. But compared to your time, okay, another example, saizi angalia teams zenye umedrop points. Nottingham team inapigania relegation, basically we are dropping points against teams that are fighting for relegation. Your time bana team ya relegation ulikuwa unaweka team B hata team C unawanyorosha sita, like it was a done deal. Now basically even Spurs can be relegated. That's how hard the league is, because if you play a joke you're going to be relegated. Also, another factor to me saying that the league is harder now, look at it this way: if a team goes to the championship and they come back, because I think it has happened 2 seasons in a row where the 3 teams that have dropped have come back. I think apart from last season, before that the 3 teams that went down came back, and I think that shows that the Premier League has too much quality than the others. The third factor, I think, look at how the English teams are performing in the European competitions compared to then. That time it was only City and Liverpool, yet 4 teams were qualifying for the UCL. Right now, hata Newcastle tunasema inaweza piga Barcelona. Just imagine that at that time you see, it seemed unforeseeable, but now we can see a chance of Newcastle beating a Barcelona, because I feel right now the English teams are just too good. We are basically seeing Nottingham Forest fighting for relegation, lakini wananyorosha watu Europe. We are seeing Aston Villa struggling to win games in the league, but they're winning in Europe. Like that's how hard the league is, where it's easier to play European competition against top teams in Europe than it is to play in the league. So I think the league is harder now than it was when it was Liverpool City. That's why they were able to get at 200 points.
Okay, let me start. Okay, I have an alternative view. The league is not harder now. It's just that everyone has dropped the level. So that means when we fight against each other, there's not so much difference in quality.
It's not the level that
because honestly, why is Arsenal struggling to beat Leverkusen, a 6th tier team in? Leverkusen is number 6, but he's number 6 right now in Bundesliga. Yeah. Also, you can't really say that Barcelona is the Barcelona we used to know that time. That time, Barcelona had like the who's and who's. They would have dismantled the midfield of Rini. But again, I feel like definitely both Spanish leagues have also dropped off their form. The league in itself, like I think the reason why we don't have so much quality is because now the league has become more methodical. Like Pep Guardiola and whoever has taught everyone that we don't really need very, very big, massive players like the Eden Hazard or wherever. So these days we have more athletes who can run around and who can do stuff. But to get somebody who can do something magical is becoming more rare in the league. Yeah. And that's why when I'm saying we don't, like right now, we don't accommodate more people who can, like, for example, if you are good at dribbling but you can't press, then your team loses because your team can't afford to have one person who can't press, right? So basically what I'm just trying to say is maybe as a collective unit, the league has become, we have reduced the marginal level between the bottom and the top. Yeah, like maybe then there was a huge difference between the number last but now the top person has also dropped a level. The bottom has raised. Yeah. And so now the league is there about where if you on a bad day, even the bottom team can take a draw from the top team. Yeah. And
even on a bad day. Right now they can do that even on a good day.
Well, I think what I can say, the Premier League has always been hard. What is the difference is just I feel the teams at the top have lowered their quality. We are lacking the best team. Where in the previous seasons you had the best team in Liverpool who will win their games way before even the league is over, and they've secured their place. The previous season you're looking at either Man City, or if you have two teams, these two teams make a huge gap between themselves and number 3, and it's them now deciding who's winning. So I think we're just lacking the best team, of which, in my opinion, this best team this season was supposed to be Arsenal. Arsenal should be 15 points clear, and we're all clean that the league is gone.
But they are relying on corners to score. No, like okay, me, I would say, I would say, like, for example, if right now you ask anyone, like, say you are at Premier League side and you're playing against Arsenal, who is the top of the league right now, and you ask them, like, who of the players would you fear the most when they attack you? Like, who would have the hardest moment when we have a one-on-one matchup? Then you're like, maybe Saka, but again, Saka is like, sometimes you can find maybe a Cucurella to stop him or something like that. So what we are trying to say is basically, like, we don't have somebody who can really dismantle and take a big difference at the top. And maybe that's why we are saying we are good, because the league is hard. It's not hard because it's hard in its sense. It's just that maybe we are all average players trying to...
Yeah, we don't have a good team. Yeah, and that's my point. Like, we're lacking that team that shows or differentiate themselves from the rest by establishing their dominance. You see, like, there's a season where facing Man City was a nightmare. Facing Liverpool was a nightmare. But if you go way back, there are seasons where Chelsea were really good also.
Even now we are the world champions.
So
that's the irony. We are the world champions. Okay. So the irony is Chelsea is the world champions, but again, Chelsea is full of average players. Like, so you want to tell us that where is the rest of the world? Where is the Barcelonas? Where is the, like, what a shame.
You guys have brought up a very important point, and I think that neza fungia hapo for this. I'll say this. The first thing I'll ask, I don't know kama mliona interview ya Bale kwa inaitwaje issue ya kina nani, ya kina Neville, nimesahau, there's something, and he said during the time he was playing, it was not as tactical, it was more player guided. It was more the players determining how it went, and I feel that is what led us to have a Hazard. That is what led us to have the Ronaldos, the Messis, the Bales, because they were allowed to express themselves. And to me, I feel that was football more than it is now. I feel that was what allowed us to enjoy the football, because nakam kungojea alafu I don't know what Bale will do. Anaweza piga ball, anaweza amua shoot kutoka katikati ya pitch, anaweza piga, like, it's not a planned way of getting a result. It was magic, if that's the word I will use. And I feel that is what is affecting us now, because your time Man City could stockpile on talent. Wangepata Sané, Sterling, KDB, wako na Fernandinho, huko nyuma wamejaza. Saizi, you can't stockpile that much talent. One, because the money got too high and other teams will want to fight you for the same players. And two, those players are not available enough for you to get them. Like, how many wingers are available in the market right now who are good enough? Ukiambia hesabu utapata wangapi? It's very hard to get many so that you can collect. No. So I think the fact that football has become tactical has made it harder for the top teams to differentiate themselves from the rest, because you cannot, you don't have the talent. Alafu, maybe this society itakuwa question. Mi kwangu, I think I know the answer is this. The question is football better now that it is more tactical than it is more player based? My answer is, I don't think it's better. I just think it gives us a better recipe for winning. So what do I mean by this? Pep won because it was tactical, which means if you have repeatable actions that players can follow, then it's easy for the players to perform and win. Which means tactical beats player-based, because player-based, it is dependent on the players turning up on that particular day. Is it good for the person who is watching? No. Every time coming to watch, and I know how it feels robotic. I think that's the way people used to describe the Pep. And now football feels very robotic. Like, I know this is how... For the same thing at Arsenal, we know this is how we are going to play. Itaenda kwa wing, ifikie Saka jaribu, ikikata ikuje hivi, whatever, corner, whatever. Like, it's about the margins rather than just, cheki, iball isonge, we come, we tupige, we jibambe, we ukipata chance dribble, like, take the risk. Like, it's where you need to follow what the manager says. And I don't think football is good for it, but I think it offers a better winning recipe. Ivo too.
Yeah, I think with the rise of technology and people collecting data, I think people or the world, we've normalized now science is the basis of our decisions. So based on player statistics, not only how they play, like how they ran, how they, I don't know, the tackles, I don't know. There's that data is what is defining the game, and sports in general. I think this is the era of sports where it's no longer about the athlete. It's about what we are seeing on the screens based on the data we are collecting. And I agree. I think for me, it lowers the level of sports in terms of that unpredictability. You can't predict. As in, right now it's easy to predict. Back then, you could enjoy a game and expect a moment of magic. But right now, I think that has gone so low. I mean, science, technology is defining sports now.
Well, I think I'll just finish by saying maybe we need more magic, because, of course, definitely it's good for entertainment. It's good that everyone would see that there's one player who can dribble past 5 players and score. But maybe those days are gone. Maybe they're not, because, again, a good point, data informs everything, every decisions. Every organization right now, given football, is being run by data which informs even their recruitment. And so I would just say it's not that generally that I just think we have, in general, the football standards have been lowered, and it's now more of like managers are playing. When you see a team play, it's not mostly the team itself expressing, but the manager expressing themselves through the team. So we are having more coaches than managers. Yeah.
True. I think that's all for me. Episode imekuwa refu, but guys, tell us in the comments hizi ni episodes nyingi. Tell us mnadhani aje, is football now harder, better to watch? Is it better for your team? Would you rather tactics zirushwe nje? Will it ever get to that point? Peni kwa comments bana, my guys. And thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us on this journey, and till next time, adios.